All right, guys, so we're going to talk about multiplying polynomials. You should already have this in your notes, but just to go over and refresh what we did in class. We are multiplying polynomials, okay? So we remember that when we multiply the coefficients and we add the exponents. So if we were to multiply 3x squared y cubed by negative 4x to the 5th y to the 7th, we would multiply 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. X squared times x to the 5th is going to give us x to the 7th. And we're x cubed times x to, or y, I'm sorry, y cubed times y to the 7th is going to give us y to the 10th. We have added those two to get 10. We have added these two to get 7. Okay? So if we were going to multiply those two, we would get 6x to the 4th minus 4x to the 3rd plus 8x squared. Okay. This should, when you do these, here are the answers, okay? If you don't know how to get these, if you did not know how I got those, then make sure you are multiplying your coefficients and adding your exponents. All right, moving on. The binomials. We have this binomial times this binomial. We are multiplying them. Do you see that we are multiplying them? If we were adding them, it would be combining like terms, 2x plus 6. But since we are multiplying them, we have to distribute, okay? So make sure you understand the difference between adding and multiplying, right? So in order to do that, this is the box method. We take a box, we label it. This is going to be x. This is plus 4. Then this would be x plus 2. So I've basically taken the binomial here and put it here, the binomial here and put it here. Okay? Then when I multiply, I'm going to multiply x times x and get x squared. When I multiply x times 4, I get 4x. So when I multiply x times 2, I get 2x. When I multiply 4 times 2, I get 8. So then I put all of these numbers into an equation, and so you would get x squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8. However, I can take these two and combine my like terms. So when I combine my like terms, I'm going to get x squared, and I add these together, plus 6x plus 8. This is my answer. Okay, this is when you're multiplying binomials. Make sure you understand, if I was adding these, it would be 2x plus 6. All I would do is combine my like terms. But when you're multiplying, you're going to get an answer more like this. All right? If we were to do these, x would go here, plus 3x minus 5. Multiply x times x, I get x squared. X times 3, 3x. X times 5, negative 5x. X times negative 5, or 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Now I can combine those terms and I would add them together because they are like terms. When I do that, I'm going to get x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay. Same with if we were to have 3x minus 2, 3x minus 2, and 2x plus 6. I'm just breaking it up. When I multiply 3 times 2, I get 6. X times x gives me x squared. Since I'm multiplying, make sure you're multiplying and not adding. 3x times 6 is 18x. 2x times minus 2 is negative 4x. Negative 2 and positive 6 is negative 12. Then, when I combine and add, this is going to be my first term, and we go in descending order. So my x squared is going to be first. My plus 14x is second. Minus 12 is third. Okay, now you try the next ones. And here are the answers. Make sure you know how to get them. Okay, moving on. The FOIL method is exactly the same as the box, except for we're just going to do it more in our heads. This is our F term. This is our outside. This would be our inside. And then our last terms. So the first term, when I multiply x times x, I get x squared. When I multiply x times 6, I get 6x. When I multiply 7 times x, I get 7x. And when I multiply the last, I get 42. Then I add these together. I have no combined like terms with this, so that stands by itself. These two are like terms, so I can add them together and get 13x and then 42. There's no other single digits. Okay? Do those. Pause this video and work those on your own if you haven't already. Okay, so for number 1, here is your answer, 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. For your second equation, basically what happens is your middle term, when I multiply my outside terms, I get positive 2x. When I multiply my inside terms, I get negative 2x. When I combine them together, I get 0. So your middle term is canceled out, so there is no middle term. Then the last one, I only have one binomial, but it's being squared, which is the same thing as saying that times itself. So then you have to basically take this, and if you were going to do the box method, it would look x2 plus 2 and x plus 2. Okay, so if you haven't done that already, go ahead and pause this video. And the answer is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Alright, then when you multiply by trinomials, you can have a binomial by binomial. That would look like this for your box. You can have a binomial by trinomial. I have 3, which is the tri, and 2, which is the bi. Or you can have a trinomial by trinomial. Okay. Now, note that there is no box for a binomial cubed, and we'll talk about that. So in order to do a binomial, this is your binomial, times your trinomial, you're going to use this shape of a box. You can't use the FOIL method with this. So when we put it in our box, we're going to have x here and plus 2, and then 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. So then when we multiply those out, we're going to get 2x cubed minus 4x squared. X times 2 is 2x. So I basically multiplied x by here. Now I need to multiply my 2 times everything. I'm distributing my x. Now I'm distributing my plus 2. So when I distribute my plus 2, I get 4x squared. I get negative 8x. And I get 4. Then I notice that I have some like terms. I actually have 2 sets of like terms. I have this grouping, and I have this grouping. So I'm going to add my like terms together. If I didn't, I basically could do 2x cubed minus 4x squared plus or minus or plus 2x, that would be my top row, plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 4. Right? That's taking everything in here into one equation. I've taken the top row and the bottom row. But now I see I've got like terms that I've circled up here, but I'm just showing you this way. And when I combine those, I get 2x cubed, negative 4x, and positive 4x are 0, so they cancel each other out. Positive 2x, negative 8x, I get minus 6x. And then I've used all those, and I'm left with minus 4. So this is my answer. Okay, now pause the video if you haven't already and work those out. Alright guys, I actually screwed up because I put the wrong equations here. So I accidentally took the x plus 2 from this equation But then the second part of this equation onto, I multiplied the wrong equations. So the answer to this one would be 2x plus 3. Here are your answers for the others. Now, this one's kind of interesting because of the fact that this went 3, 2. We did not have a single x variable in the polynomial, but we did have a single x variable in the binomial. So then we ended up not being able to combine the like terms like we thought we would be able to. Basically, this term could not be combined with anything, and this term, this term and this term could not be combined with numbers. So be very careful with that. Make sure that you're combining your like terms. All right. Here are ones that you need to work through on your own. I'll give you the answers to those, but work through on those on your own. Okay, so here are the answers to those 4 problems. This one you'll notice is where you've got the x minus a number and then x plus a number. They're going to cancel each other out, so you end up, this is always going to be the perfect square of the 2 numbers. All right, now what about this challenge question? We've got x plus 3 cubed. So that's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 3, 3 times. But we don't have a box that will work with that combination. So what we need to do is we need to multiply those 2 together first, and then we multiply that one together. So pause the video and work these 2 out, and then use your box to create that one. So pause the video. Then you should get x squared plus 6x plus 9 times x plus 3. Now, now you can work your box method and have x plus 3 and your x squared, your 6x, and your 9, and then multiply those out. So you get x cubed when you multiply these 2, 6 times x squared, 9x. Then when I distribute this 3 to all of those, I get 3x squared, 18x, and 27. So then when I combine my like terms, my answer will be x cubed plus 9x squared plus 27x plus 27. Okay, so make sure you do these 2 first. You have to do 2 first, and then you multiply in the third. All right, we talked about the formulas for the area of a square. When you have a square, the sides are the same, so the length times the width is going to be the same as the side squared. The area of a rectangle is your length times your width. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. This is your base. That is your height. The volume of a cube is your length times your width times your height. So your length times your width times your height. And the volume of a rectangular prism, which looks like this, is going to be your length times your width. This is your width times your length times your, I guess this could be your height. Either way, let's make that correct. This would be your height. This would be your width. This is your height. This is your width. This is your length. So your length times your width times your height. On a cube, these are all going to be the same. So you could have it be side cubed. Sorry, that was a little bit mixed up. However, those are your formulas. So to find the area of a figure like this, you've got a trinomial times a binomial. To do that, you're going to do your x plus 2, your x squared, your 2x, and your minus 1. And when you multiply them, you get x cubed, 2x squared minus x, 2x squared, 4x, and negative 2. So the answer would be x cubed plus 4x plus 3x minus 2. All right. You're basically just multiplying your width times your length. Same here. This is my height. This is my base. 1/2 the base times the height. But these are not simple numbers, so we have to multiply these together. In order to do that, if I was going to use the box method, I would create a box and do x minus 2 or 2x plus 3. If I was going to use the FOIL method, I would multiply these first two together. And notice that these first two together, this would be like your first term. This would be your x times your 3 would be your outside term. The 2 times the 2x would be your inside term. And the 2 times the 3 would be your last term. So it's the same thing if you're using FOIL. If you have your m 2x plus 3 x minus 2. There's your first term. Here's your last term. Here is your outside terms. And here are your inside terms. I actually screwed that up. So this should be your I, and this is your O. So this would actually look like this. But it's basically the same thing because you're going to combine these two terms anyway. And so then your answer would be 1/2 times, if you haven't done it already, then pause it and work out what you get when you multiply these two. Because I'm going to give you the answer. 2x squared minus x minus x. 2x times x gives you x squared. The outside terms, 2x times negative 2 is negative 4. The inside terms is positive 3x. When we combine those together, we get negative x. Then the last terms are 3 and negative 2. But how do we multiply this by 1/2? We basically distribute that. We divide everything by half. So same thing as this. So 2 goes into 2 one time, so we get x squared minus, there's a 1 here, so that would be 1/2 x. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and it's negative. So hopefully you got that. So we're going to divide everything by 2. And then here is the answer to the area of this triangle. That was a little confusing, sorry. All right, now doing the volume. We did this, we're going to do this just like we did a challenge question, because we know that the volume is each side cubed. So that's going to be 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. So in order to get that, we need to first multiply those out. So we get 2x plus 3, 2x plus 3, 4x squared, 6x, 6x, and 9. Then we're going to combine. We get 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Now we're going to multiply that times 2x plus 3. So to do that, 2x plus 3, and we have 4x squared, 12x, and 9. We'd get 8x cubed, 12x squared. 2 times 12 is 24. X times x is x squared. 2x times 9 is 18. Then 3, this is a 3, times 12x is 36x. Oh, this is 18x. And 3 times 9 is 27. So then we can combine our like terms. Here's one, and here's another. These are x's. So I have my x squareds and my x's. I have two sets of like terms. So when I combine them all together, I'm going to get 8x cubed, just this, then plus 24x squared and 12x squared. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 18 is 54x plus 27. So there is my answer. I cannot simplify that any longer. Okay, good luck.